guys, it's Jeanette with Backroom Creations. Come on in. Today is storming on Central East Ohio and all of the United States. We got some big hail this morning, about almost noon. So let's find our comments. Hi Tracy, how are you? Okay, I think I found myself. There we go. So I'm going to use some strips of fabric, some colored beads, a scrap piece of wood, and here is our picture. Happy Easter. And we'll probably use some wire. Hi Sandy, hi Mary, how are you? Alrighty. So first, let's give our rice paper, ow, that hurts, the little jagged. You can get these on Amazon, they're in my store. So sometimes I get it wet, sometimes I don't. I think I'm going to go with a don't today. Just make sure I don't get none of that white. It's easier to put the ruler on the side that has the least amount of paper. Hi Lori. Just try not to tear too fast. And then it's jagged. I wanted it as big as I could get it, so the top doesn't even have a border on it. That's all right. We'll still get it. Hope everybody's having a good day. I don't think I have enough to hold it down. There we go. My phone's been going off all day for weather alerts. Hi Carla, thank you. So I picked up an extra live today. Ooh, that's all close to my letters. Almost got my letter. What I get from making them so big. I don't need your spam. So I know a lot of creators get the spam emails and they screenshot one of our creations that we posted. Is this still available? How much for this? So I finally think I found something that is starting to deter some of them. Did I mark it for sale? No. Please read the post. I think I didn't even say please. It's like, come on. I'm not stupid. I'm not saying everybody doesn't get caught up. Some people get caught up, but if we're posting pictures, we're probably smart enough to know when there's a scam. I'm trying to get this last little bit raw and chilly. With rain coming, I know, isn't it? Ugh. I got leaves I need to get raked up and from the winter last fall. So I'm trying to get this little, I had just a little bit to tear up top. Let's see if we can finally get this couple of inches. This would hurt if you like hit somebody with it or dropped it on your foot. Hi Pamela. Hi Sonia. Storms is hitting us now in Missouri. Well, we had hail come through earlier, and it was a good, probably 1.5 inches around, maybe an inch. There we go. So I zigzagged all my corners. Oh, look at that. Didn't have to do the top and bottom. I'll probably cut off a little bit of this, that way it'll fit on there. Hi Tracy, how are you? So yeah, but then I think there's another storm coming. If my mom's in Illinois. She calls me every 2 weeks on Sunday. And then she turns her phone off for the rest of the time. I'm like, Mom, I mean, she's 78. No, she turned 78 this month. I'm like, can you leave your phone on? She's like, then I gotta listen to all those telemarketers and stuff. And I'm like, you know, if you don't answer, I'm gonna send the cops to your house. Hi, Jackie from Florida. All right, so we cut off a little more on the bottom so we can get that in here. But let's get our, I don't want the blue on there, so let's get, I forgot to get my paint out. How rude. Is it storming down there? Yeah. Thank you, Nancy. Oh. Had to go clean out more brushes from last night. So we're just going to paint over this. I'll paint the edges. These were leftover pieces. We used to make sublimated wood signs. And, well, sublimated metal signs too, but we stopped making that. So many people were making them and just didn't. Bad storms. 10, I saw Tracy's post about supposed to be getting record amounts of flooding. I know she already had issues with her house flooding before. So keep you guys in our thoughts. We have low areas around here, but I am not in one of them. And I'm not near the river. That river floods sometimes. It'll flood out of its banks. It usually doesn't affect households here in town. It's the streets, because the sewers get inundated with all that water. So now the town south of us, years ago we had bad flooding here. I mean bad. And houses were destroyed, and by God, if they just didn't rebuild right there where they were. But a lot of them put them on a high foundation. So at least they were smart about that. I'm just trying to get my edges painted. We had some tornado warnings today, but I didn't see anything. I'm from Illinois, where it was flat, flat, and it rained, or tornadoes were really prevalent in the spring, and I haven't seen a bad one since I've been in Ohio, and I've been here for 26 years. I have a couple people that's not too far from me. But everybody's so busy between work and kids and life and... Okay. Yeah, that didn't work out so well, huh? Never fail. I can never paint cleanly. It's just something I give up on. And I hate wearing gloves when I paint. So I just get messy. Okay, got all those sides. Let's get the top done. We're going white instead of, I normally go cream because the picture's got more, it's more vivid. It's got the pastels and the whites in it. I'm not worried about two coats on here except for at the very edges where you'll see it. So we'll dry it a little bit and then get a little second coat around the edge where you'll see the wood. This is just like 1/4 inch plywood. And you know, wood is not, if you say 1/4 inch, it's not 1/4 inch. It's more like 3/8. I'm ready for some spring to actually stay here. This up and down weather. You know, last week we were in the high 60s, low 70s, and then I wake up and it's 33 degrees, and I'm like, really? That's just rude. Mother Nature needs to get a grip. Okay, we're going to give this a dry. I got stuff all over my room getting ready for the sale on Friday. So if you didn't know, Craft Around the Clock has our Market 30 sale this coming Friday. Every half hour, there'll be a new creator selling whatever it is they want to sell. I'm still going through things from my mom. So lots and lots of papers. Because my mom used to be an antique store owner, and she would go down, and she would just buy whole estates. Or she would buy just the contents. Because a lot of people, that's what they don't want to mess with, is the contents. And it's kind of sad as I'm going through this stuff. I mean, we're talking high school diplomas and, you know, pictures. And just some, of course, maybe they didn't have anybody to give it to, but my son has already gone around my house going, I want that, I want that, I want that. He likes the antiques. My daughter, she couldn't care. But I do have a 1910 shaker style leather rocking chair down in my living room. But it actually belongs to my granddaughter. My mom gave it to her. And I'm like, really? She gave it to her when she was 7. We were out there for a trip to visit, and she wouldn't get out of it. That's just where she stayed, because we slept in the balcony. It was an old converted church that they added a 3-bedroom apartment on the end. We're just going to give the edges a second coat. So we slept in the balcony of the store. I wish it was here. I could make a shop in the front and live in the back, which is what my mom and dad did. Over here a little bit. This is the time of year for the storms, unfortunately. Hi, Joy. Oh, wait a minute. Is her name Joy? I keep forgetting. Oh, that's nice, Mary. I started doing genealogy when I was about 13 years old. And I've done it off and on my entire life. Before I became a manager at Walmart, I had extra time on my hands. And I would do it a lot. The kids would always say, why do you want to look up those dead people? I'm like, because they don't argue with me the way you do. Still see the blue right there. But it should be okay. I have notebook after notebook, and I mean like the real big 4-inch binders. And then I have a whole ancestry file on the computer. There's about 45,000 people in there. I'm gonna get this nice and dry. And then my mom also gave me, I guess it was customary that you buy your grandparents candlestick holders or glassware, because my mom gave me, she got things back from her grandparents that she had given them, so now I have them. I have a bowl that came over on the wagon from North Carolina on the covered wagon. Look at that, I forgot my Mod Podge. I think it's important to save history. There was like, these people that my mom bought the estate from, that I got a lot of it, they must have traveled a lot, because there was like, and when I mean travel, we're talking like the 20s, 30s, 40s, because there's like pictures and menus of things that they had done on boats, a lot of military stuff, got like some cufflinks. I think I'm almost out of the music that everybody was looking for. Have a few to go in this Friday sale. And a little bit more of that ribbon that I sold in the last time I found the other box. Yay! Little something in there. All right, let's see if we can get part of this down. Does everybody know what the Market 30 sale is Friday? I know many of you are on a lot of lives, so I'm sure that you've heard. Today, I'm just not prepared. I don't know why, but, you know, it is what it is. So I'm just going to take a little scraper in case there's extra glue behind the picture. We'll pull it out. Try not to put it too thick. A couple of those go over. We'll hit those later. This is rice paper I printed off. I made the little picture myself. Well, I didn't make it myself. I got that one. I got the background. I did the text. Okay, so let's dry this a little bit, and then we'll put a top coat on it. Uh-oh. I hung it upside down. I knew I was going to do that. I already put my holes in here. So I'll just jump over here and get my drill, and we'll drill new ones. I have my own drill because my husband got tired of me stealing his. So I said, fine, I'll just get my own. So I got my own drill bits, my own little adapters and all that stuff. And I got a DeWalt so he can't steal my battery. Come on. All his tools are Milwaukee. And mine are, most of mine are DeWalt's. So about at 3/4 of an inch in. There we go. Here's what we're looking like. So I got a little bit up there that went over the edge. Just a little bit. A couple little points of grass. Yeah, I drilled that 3/32 for the wire that I'm going to use. I hope it was big enough. Let's check it out. Where's my hole in the back? Oh, there we go. It kind of splintered. Thanks, Mary. All right. Oh, I think I got some white paint. That's why I hate about paint on my hands. Always messing something up. There, that's better. All right, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna use some wire. This is actually, it's a lot thicker wire. I got 2 ends here. See how much I need. That's enough. My room's a hot mess. All my stuff is around. So this wire they put oil in it. Hi, Joan from Washington. I'm in Ohio. So you just want to get the black off of it. So how I put mine on is come from the back and leave just a little bit out. And then I take some, hi Michelle, thank you. I leave a little bit out, probably a couple inches, maybe didn't have to leave that much. But then, yeah, that is too much, probably about 1 inch. And then you're just gonna take it from the top. Oops. My hands aren't working. And then you're gonna stab yourself. You're just gonna twirl it down. And then I push it over. Like that. Then that's gonna hold it. It's not gonna come back out. So if you can get it to, you know, twist more or ever how much you want. I just twisted enough to make sure that it's not going to come back through the front. And if you don't want it sticking up, you can always take a little hammer. There, I kind of wrapped it around itself a couple times. Now don't do both sides, especially if you want to put some beads on. So I've got some that I painted and some that are just the way I bought them. Tickle on my nose. I do have some dowel rods over here. So I usually twirl a couple, then put a bead on. Then twirl some more and put a bead on. This is kind of big. Like sometimes I use a smaller one. You always want to, if you're going to do the twisty thing, make your hanger a little bit longer than what you like. Just so it can allow for the stuff that you're twisting around. And then I'll skip some spots. I did that backwards. I wanted it here. Let's see here. Okay, we'll put 2 over here. How's Oregon's weather? Ours is We had hail this morning. Okay, so I got beads on there. Now I'll do a little twist, and then we're going to put it through our other hole. And I'll put some little spackle on that other one over there. There we go. So same thing over here. Just take your pliers. I like needle nose so I can wrap it around it. There's that. Sometimes if you want to make sure where the top of it is to hang it. Okay. So I'll put some spackle in there. Ouch. There it is. I have a big jug of it. Just need a tiny hole. This is the lightweight spackle like they use with fake bakes. But I use it, I mix it with paint, and then you can put it on stencils. Thank you, Linda. You put it through stencils, and it kind of gives the words a raised look. So we'll let that dry. Then I have some fabric. What's this piece? Maybe. Ooh, cut some off there. Partly sunny, low 50s, going to be in the 70s this coming weekend with no rain. Well, I think we need to go to Oregon, Washington, because we're getting rain for 5 days. So let's see, where is my little bow maker? I normally don't use this one, but for the little ribbon bows, I tend to. So we're just going to make a little bow. So I twisted it because I have a pattern on one side. So I want my pattern to be up. Not that these really, stay in one spot. It's just a piece of material. Now if we were doing it with the ribbon, I would make it stay. I just want weather in the 70s. Low 70s, sweatshirt weather. That would be nice. No tornadoes. Okay, there's some pink. Now, depending on the look that you're going for, if you wanted your bow to really stand out and make stay shape, you could squirt your fabric with starch, or I like the liquid starch. You put it in there and let it dry and hang. So this is just a white with a little bit of a pattern on it. I make rag balls, so I've always got strips of fabric. Warm sunshine and cool breeze, yeah. I like bonfire weather. If it's too hot, you can't sit around the bonfire. Of course, we were under a burn ban. I'm like, how can you be under a burn ban and it be raining all week? Not allowed to burn anything. Can't do no trash. Of course, I'm in town. Can't burn from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. And I am only about 2.5 blocks from the police station. And you can put as many loops on here that you want. Or lace. I could have got some lace. This one's going quick. That's enough of that one. Then I have kind of like a little light tie-dye of like mint and yellow. And I glue my strips together, so if I want some, I either have to find the end or just cut some out. It's easier just to cut some out. Oops, wrong way. I'm not putting jute on it. Oh, I don't put, oh, down at the bottom. I never do that. I normally don't use this to make a bow. I normally just use it to hold things. Bye, Cindy. Normally I would grunge the sides, but since this one's a pastel, we're not going to do no grunging today. Normally I use a piece of fabric. This is kind of how I do mine. So I just laid it over, and then I'll come around, maybe help if my fingers weren't hurting. Cindy's always got my back. Okay, I'm gonna, you know, you gotta use what God gave you. And that's how I normally do mine. And just tie a knot in it. You can use jute too. Got some strings. Just a little pink and light colors, since it's for Easter. Hi, Cindy. Let's cut some of these strings out. Some fabric, the way it's made, it just ravels so much. You know, if it was homespun, it'd be okay, but not this stuff. Okay, so the two pieces that I use to tie the bow together are what I use to tie it to my project. So I think let's go ahead and put our coat on top. Also, if I put that bow on there, I'm not going to get around it. Especially since we got some time. I never fail. I either have too much time or not enough time. Usually it's not enough time. Because I like to talk. Who carries their phone around with them throughout the day to watch Craft Around the Clock? So you don't miss nothing. Like, I'll carry it and I'll go do dishes. I don't take it to the laundry with me because it's in a basement. One time I dropped it. I'm like, oh, and that's concrete floor, so we'll just leave it up here. I don't go in the bedroom with me in full clothes. So you don't need a thick coat, but it's looking like it's a little thick. Oop. Brush hair. That's the only thing I hate about chippy brushes is the bristles come out. But I like that I don't have to clean the Mod Podge out of it. I just throw them away. And there you go. Let's dry this. I know we do a lot of drying, but unfortunately it's the nature of the beast. Some things that take too long, I will make a couple of them. I'll make one halfway through before I even go live. But I am notorious for not making things ahead of time to see if I can do it. I'll just do it with you guys, and if I make a mistake, well, then you learn something new. That's bubbling up right there. So since it bubbled up, I'm not going to touch it while it's bubbled. I'll wait till it's completely wet or completely dry, and then I'll see what I can do about it. Working outside in your garden. And it's coming back down. Might have got too much heat to it. I said heat tool to somebody the other day, and they're like, a heat what? And I'm like, a heat tool. They're like, you mean a heat gun? And I'm like, yeah, but I'm not allowed to say that. And I just did. Oops. Facebook, don't nothing to me. Yeah, I'm gonna put it over here. So I'll just use these two. I'll just tie it around the wire. That way, if you don't want it on there, you can untie it. I didn't paint the back. It's usually not something that people see once you got it hung up, but if I was taking it to the shop, I would definitely, oops, take it, do the back of it. Time flies. Going through all this stuff in my mom's is like, because I don't know if people are going to want things that have names on them. I did sell a few last time, so that'll continue to dry up. Oh, that's so cute. So you can embellish the hangers however you want. If you don't want to make a bow and just have some trailing down, I've done that. Yep, it's still right there. I'll probably take an iron, put some wax paper down, and then take the iron over it. Thank you, Mary. We got like 9 minutes. I could show you a couple things that I'm gonna have Friday, because I have some right behind me. I did put a couple pictures. Let's just put this right here. I will put pictures all the way up to Friday of things that I'm finding to put in the sale. And if you know any wreath makers, thank you, Lori. I am selling a bunch of ribbon and mesh. But let's see here. So these are books. So sometimes people aren't interested in them. It just depends on who you are. But I have a slew of 1963 through 65. They're the work basket books for the lace. And I mean, I could never do it because it's so small. And my granddaughter tried. But it's got recipes in here. It's got the directions for those. It's got, this is how they did their ads. Kind of look like ours in the paper. But I have a whole bunch of these work baskets. Let me see, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Unless I find, oops, 6. Now some people like, this is what came in a blender. It's 1965. And it was the book that came with the blender. We always get a book. And this was recipes from Sunbeam. you never know what you're going to find. I was trying to see if, no, these all use measurements. I have a cookbook. It's a Betty Crocker from, I forget what year, but it actually uses measurements of a number 2 can, a pinch, a handful, and it's so funny to look at. Oh, here's some more work baskets. 64, 64, oh my, 61. So 61 to 65. I have a 1957 book of Little Bear, the Weekly Reader. And this is, I didn't know if anybody would be interested in this, but it's kind of neat. Especially if you like to use, now I already looked up how much they're worth, Michelle. But some people like to do the pictures out of small pieces of paper, or anybody that likes jewelry, or you know, the junk journals. A lot of this will be great for the junk journals. So it's a lot of Navajo stuff. It's even got Reader's Digest atlases. Some people like to do maps in their junk journals, and a map maybe in the background of a picture. You went on a trip. There's another one. Here's an antique book. It's probably my mom's. It's kind of neat. It shows pictures, and where they came from, what era they came from, all kinds of things. So it's neat. And then, you know, I loved the old time advertisements. So that one's from 1975. This, I'm going to get into the music that I have. This is from 1908. It's a finger dexterity book from Schirmer's Library. Woo. 1906. All music. And this one's in pretty good shape for being 1908. So a lot of people, my mom said, I know you're going to sell them to crafters, just don't tell me what they're going to do with them. Because she doesn't think they should be destroyed, but that's what we do. She gave me some books I'm not allowed to do anything with. You know, some books from like 1898. I have one from 1879. But, you know, this is full of nice, good music to use. I sold a lot of the little pamphlets of music like this. It's just one song. Some of them have a couple pages. Some of them just have one. That one's 1940. This is Moonbeams by Henry Blossom, 1928. So mom usually got good estate sales that they took care of their items, you know, because some people don't care about it. There are such things. Most of these I've never heard of, except for, I kept some Shirley Temple's. This was 42. Oh, here's one, 1893. The piano pieces by Rudolph Frimmel. So other than being yellowed, it's in pretty good shape. Here's one from 1924. From 1 till 2, I'll always dream of you. Oh, this one. I did sell this one. Good Night, My Love, Shirley Temple. I kept the other one. And then I have pictures. This is the Dion quintuplets, born in 1934. It was a fan. One like this. Like I said, she got all kinds of things. John Wayne in a life book. 1956. This one's 1972. Gables, 1961. I sold a lot of these Life magazines last time. Marilyn Monroe. That one's another, that's the Post, Marilyn Monroe. There's a Capper's Farmer. And they have a lot of pictures. They have a lot of like old advertisements. If you're into junk journaling, they would probably be great because you can pick and choose and use things in here, especially if you're a neutral colored person. Hi, Francis Newbie from St. Louis. I am Jeanette, and we're just going over a few things. So on Friday, if you are not part of Craft Around the Clock, jump over there and join, because our sales will only be streamed in Craft Around the Clock. They won't be on my page and then shared into Craft Around the Clock like we do all the time. We will go live from Craft Around the Clock. That way there's only the live sale is only in one spot. Because when you get sharing things and you get live sales, it's hard to see who wanted something first. So we just do it in one place. I get 30 minutes. It's 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And yeah, it's fun. I go fast because there's lots to do, lots to sell. So thanks for coming and hanging out for my project that we did. Happy Easter. I love little Highland cows. Real simple. All kinds of different prices, Francis. But Friday, Craft Around the Clock will be the place that we all do our live sales. Okay, I'll take some little iron over it for that bubble. Yeah, Pam. Yeah, it's coming my way, I know. But I gotta go. Stay tuned for the next creator, and I'll see you Friday. Bye.